G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the southwest side of the map playing is the French in the colour pink. It's Astral Abuser. And on the northeast side of the map playing is the Mongols in the colour teal. It's Give You Anxiety. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Prairie. We're here watching two pros going at it. I say two pros. I mean, they're two Conk 3 players. I don't know if they're pros. I'm sure they might have some tournament winnings. I'll be honest, I don't know too much about Astral Abuser, other than he likes to abuse Astral. For anybody who does, well, to the Shadow Realm you should go. I remember playing a whole bunch of Dota 2 as Shadow Fiend, and there's nothing worse than going up against an Outworld Destroyer. I think, was that its name, Outworld Destroyer? I'm pretty sure it was. All I remember is just getting Astral Imprisonment every freaking laning phase. Oh my lord. I think the meta's changed quite a bit in Dota 2. I don't know too much about it. I haven't really watched it much, a whole lot lately. But, gosh, my SF, Shadow Fiend. Is there anything more iconic in Dota 2 than Shadow Fiend? And don't say Meepo. I know you're going to say Meepo. No, just stop it with the Meepo. I can't believe, didn't Meepo get a, what's it called? Is it not a Chroma? It's like a legendary. Anyway, that's enough Dota 2 chat. Enough Dota 2 chat. We got an interesting matchup. French versus Mongols. This matchup is notoriously difficult for the French. And the reason why is because the French have a tough time against the Mongols' early aggression. You see, the French, their first landmark that they make is the School of Cavalry. And it being the School of Cavalry makes a lot of cavalry. The problem is that the Mongols love to open with a Dark Age barracks. And barracks units, or at least the spearmen, count as cavalry. So already you can see that there's a bit of a lack of, well, not lack of synergy there, but you can see that there's a bit of a counter in that already. In addition to that, France loves to take gold. And they can't really do it, especially on a map like this, where their gold is so far away from their town center. So all that is gonna happen right now is GUA is gonna come in. Let's take a look from his line of sight. Yeah, he's already found this. So you know where he's gonna be going. It's going to be a tower right here. Right on this spot. I'm calling it right now. It's 100%, no two ways about it. That's where the tower is. And what's going to happen are these two spears are going to defend this villager. And it's going to be very tough for Astral Abuser. Now, there is actually a counterplay to this. And fortunately, there's a lot of straggler trees around the town center of Astral Abuser. So it's not super duper important that he loses this because he's going to be able to regain it. So It's typically known as the Mr. response, or the Greek response. And what that's going to be is you're going to use your School of Cavalry to make scouts. And at the same time as making villagers and scouts, you're going to be gathering up wood and dropping down an archery range. Now, ideally, you want to get about 2 or 3 archers out before you attack. But you want to get up to about 7 scouts. And with those scouts, you're going to be burning down that outpost. Nice delete that comes in there on the gold mine, or on the mining camp. I can't even commentate. I just make noises when I see a scout delivering sheep to an enemy town center. Yeah, it's very much so that that this is a difficult matchup, and we do already see that villager coming through. Now, interesting position on the outpost here. This is quite aggressive, and will mean that I suspect Astral's going to not even need to make cavalry here. So by putting the outpost here, it basically just means that the villagers have a lot of surface area to attack this outpost. Whereas if the outpost is back here against this point here, it basically means that the villagers all have to run through this kind of little choke point together. And so it's going to make it very easy to take this down. But there's only a single villager putting up the outpost. So it's going to take some time. We do see more spearmen coming through. Looks like the boar gets pulled. Watch out. Watch out, GUA. More spearmen coming across the map. 2 villagers, and look at that gold mine. That's talk about a distance right there. And here's the villagers getting pulled now. So, unfortunately for GUA, I mean, he's going for the right strategy. The problem is, I think that the execution may be a little bit questionable, and he's just going to focus down the gold vein. He's looking to try and take out villagers. Hits one. Not terrible. Let's see if he can get a second one. Second one coming through. Villager just going to get focused down here. And the consequence of playing this more aggressive outpost is that Lord Doubt smiles upon it. You can see right there. I mean, I'm zooming in on it. Not that it really changes it, because it scales down with my zoom. But you guys get the point, right? Like, had this outpost been here, the village is in a lot less of an exposed position. And gee, we actually could be going for deer stones in 2022 December. Not something you'd expect to see with the Mongols. We haven't seen this landmark come out once this patch. So maybe GUA didn't get the memo about trading with the Mongols? But I guess against the French, it's very dangerous, right? Like, do you really want to be trading against the French anyways? They've got knights. You know, knights are basically the guaranteed way to deal with trade. If you've ever had a difficult time against some traders, just get yourself a couple of knights and you'll be fine. Spearman actually getting taken out by the TC. You can see, I think GUA might be sending out another villager. He is sending out another villager. This is very... I feel like when you lose your outpost like this, you just got to let it go, right? Like, I'm trying to think, are there any songs with I mean, I can think of Usher's song, right? And GUA just donating every single spearman over to his enemy. And he just, yeah, I'm thinking of like Usher's like, let it burn. God, that's my morning voice coming through right there. Please excuse me. You know, I haven't tuned my voice yet. I got to wake up every day and give myself the little ba 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 ba. If I don't do that, then I'm just going to be off key. But you know who's always on key? It's this Khan right here. Look at him just being so damn annoying as well. Archery range is up. And so far, I mean, Astral's had a great time, right? Like, he's defended the early attack. He didn't make any units extra. He didn't make anything he didn't need to make, right? Like, he did it with vills. He lost a villager, but he killed a villager, so it's not terrible. And he's playing the French as well behind it. So we do have the stable coming up now for GUA. So GUA looking to play a pretty standard composition against the French. It's something that you do commonly see. Looks like it's going to be Spearman Horseman. And I got to agree with this. I do like this a lot. But interestingly, we also see Horseman coming out from his opponent. No knights just yet. And this is... Look at this archer. This single hero archer just coming out to the front gold vein. You shall not mine. And there's nothing else even out on the field. And I'm not sure if you guys saw the ice skates coming on for the horseman. But yeah, I mean, everything going well so far for Astral. I'm liking his position more and more. And the fact that he's got so many sheep. Look at the sheep. I mean, 22 sheep under the town center against the Mongols. You're just having a great time. Outpost's going to come up as well. He does not want to lose this gold mine for a second time. Still, there is a weak spot, though, on the south side of the gold mine. If GUA does want to ever go for that re-up. But we do see the double early horseman coming out. Looking to try and take out the scout. Should be successful here. He'll get it. He'll get it. Don't worry about him. He'll get it. Now, I want to double check on my zoom. Seems to be going better, doesn't it? I don't know. Can you guys... I don't see any kickback at all. I think it's called kickback. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Seems to be going well. I don't notice any kickback. I've changed out my mouse. I've got myself a new mouse. And so, yeah, look at that. That's looking much better, isn't it? Watch out for the wolf, though. It's Warwick. So, at this point in time, I mean, Astral Abuser's position's pretty solid. He's survived the early game against the Mongols without taking too much damage. And that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to take damage. And by the same token, that's what the Mongols need to do. The Mongols need to take damage. But interestingly, for GUA, he's quite heavy on the wood. And we see him stacking up 400 wood at the moment. There could be a second town center in the works here, but he's going to drop another pasture. So GUA, just the consequence of not getting many of those sheep compared to his enemy who's picked up so many. GUA in a bit of a tough spot. Khan coming in. We do see the second military, or second stable going to be coming down here as well. Is this indicating a potential feudal age play from Astral? That's the read I'm getting. If I see a second stable coming up like this, I'm like, okay, this is a feudal play. And he manages to come through, takes out one of the villagers, but he's losing all of the horsemen. And this is not a good thing, because as soon as you lose these horsemen, you're losing pressure. And as soon as you're losing pressure as the Mongols, you're giving your enemy an opportunity. Right now, the best thing for Astral to do, actually, after taking out those horsemen, just go castle. Just go castle age. You can do so much. You can achieve so much from that position compared to the Mongol player. But what's GUA up to? He did drop down another archery range as well. Knights on the backside, doing some damage. Loses the scout. That's painful. Painful to lose the scout. A lot of villagers coming through. We can see he's going to move the Gur in here, so gets a nice little bit closer. Actually not gathering any gold at the moment. He's got 16 gold in the bank, and that is it. I'm curious what GUA's plan this game is. Because it definitely feels like his plan was obviously to tower rush, and it failed. It didn't go well. And maybe that's part of the reason why we've seen a trend in people bringing 2 villagers for the tower rush, just to get it up that little bit faster. It can be harder to anticipate the tower rush, or the timing on the tower when there's 2 vills on it. Because it just goes up slightly faster, so when you go to pull the vills, things don't go as well. And we do now see Beautiful little cleanup coming in from Astral. He spots the low health villager. He's going to pick that one off. Spearman coming out for GUA. He's going for the classic 1-1-1. But once again, archers here not really necessary. What are you going to do with your archers, right? Like, and this is one of the important things to remember. You want to try and be the reactive player, or at least it depends on the civ that you're playing. But against French, you want to try and be reactive. Spearmen, horsemen, they're going to be great against the archers and the knights that your enemy's making. And if your enemy does mix in a barracks, then definitely feel free to go for that range, because that's how you're going to be dealing with it. But horseman goes down. Boar is safely taken towards that northern position, and GUA once again on the aggression. But look at this, Astral doing the right thing, going to Castle Age. We'll switch it over now because we are in the 10-minute mark. So I would expect that he goes for Royal Institute here. Even though he's on 1 TC, he could actually look for a guild hall. Guild hall wouldn't be terrible here. We have seen an increase in guild halls recently. But there's a interesting play. How much wood does he have? Not a huge amount. Horseman coming through. This is more like a keep. Is he? He's going castle for a keep drop, I think? Which could be an interesting play, but what does he really get from a Royal Institute? Maybe going for the guild hall is the right call here. And he can drop it down. Needs to do it right next to the town center if he's going to do it. Just because of the pressure the GUA can put out. But ideally what Astral wants to do here, go Castle Age, drop. He's going to go Royal Institute. Okay, weird. Weird, but like he's got 37 vills with a Royal Institute. It just doesn't feel as good. I feel like the value that you're going to get from that's reduced. But essentially in this position, what you want to be doing, he moves it. Takes it to that north side. I guess it's a bit safer there, maybe? So the best thing that Astral can be doing in this position is going into men-at-arms. So mass men-at-arms. So normally from like 3 or 4 barracks, that kind of thing. And then combine that with keep drops. The issue that he's going to have are Mangudai, but Mangudai are expensive and they're going to take a long time to get on the field. And you're going to be able to buy space with your men-at-arms. You can just kind of chase down the Mangudai. Not really chase them down, but chase after the Mangudai. So we'll see if he does that. Going into men-at-arms is definitely the best choice that you can make against this kind of castle age or this feudal age Mongol player. But he's got to be careful. The villagers here are going to get exposed a little bit. Loses one of them. Second one might go down here as well. Let's see if he's paying attention. I don't know where that villager came. Did he command all of these villagers to go? Look at that. He did too. This village. Wow. Sometimes the pathing in this game is absolutely whack. You had all these villagers over here. 3 of them from this point decide to go in the outpost. The rest of them go back to the town center. And this villager from here decides to come all the way down into this outpost instead of into the town center. Because I'm assuming that there wasn't enough space in the town center for all these vills. That is wild. You would just think the 5 nearest vills that have been commanded would just go straight into it. The Royal Institute coming through. What kind of tech does he have available here that's even going to be decent? Like, sure, he drops the keep. Does he go straight into enlistment incentives? Oh, he's going big. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is insane. I have never seen this. Okay, so this is actually super smart. So the keep keeps him alive, right? Like he's not going to die with the keep. But in addition to that, it's also going to be reducing the cost of his archery and stable units by 20%. So that means that your knight, instead of costing 240 resources, now costs a reduced amount, 192 resources. So you're essentially getting plus 20% to your economy, which is massive. Imagine if I just said like, hey, I've got an economic upgrade for you. It's plus 20% of all resources as soon as you hit the castle age. That's what this keep is. Beautiful stuff coming out. And we do see he's going for elite, or rather veteran royal knights into royal bloodlines. This one's going on the thumbnail. I'm sorry, boys. This is next level stuff because the keep keeps you alive. You don't die because you've got the keep. And then at the same time, it also provides that economic bonus, that extra 20% economy. We are seeing so many new French strategies coming out. This is incredible stuff. And look, you can see that Astral is sitting on 2 military units at the moment, but now he's going to be able to make them so much more cheaply. And he's got all of this food safely under the town center. GUA has a complete ring of steel around his enemy at the moment. Units patrolling everywhere. Every corner he's looking to try and spot out where his enemy might be. But you want to know something that's even worse? Is that with him moved in that, or with him in that position, sure, his military looks formidable, but it's only ever 2 or 3 units that are just positioned to get. Oh my lord, that's a lot of villagers. It's only ever a handful of units that are positioned together, which means it's very easy for these knights to clean up. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Veterancy is now through. Going to be looking to pick up that upgrade. Knight's going to be careful though. Looking to now pick up the Royal Bloodline upgrade. This is a very nice French strategy. I'm going to call it out now. I'm liking this a lot. One base French into the castle age for the super quick keep. Get that extra 20%. And now look at the knight numbers. These are insane numbers. He's got the royal bloodline upgrade. He can fight this easily. He can absolutely destroy it, but he doesn't even need to. The Townsend are going to do it all for him. Look at the damage that comes out there. Now, he can easily go in and fight this. The trick is you don't want to charge. If you do charge, you're going to get skewered. You got to wait until you're on top of the enemy spears. You can see him trying to bait out the position. Astral coming in, looking to follow it up. And this is the consequence. You've got a nice surround, sure. But at the end of the day, if you're too far spread out with all of your forces, GUA just needs to consolidate. He needs to bring everything together into one position. This army around the backside needs to be brought up towards the top. Spearman just going to get picked off right now. Manages to catch him. And you can see that together with Chivalry going to be coming through shortly. He's going to have a huge advantage over this position. And now GUA in a little bit of a difficult spot. Charges come through. And honestly, the numbers here are so poor for GUA, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, Astral's just destroying him with these upgraded knights, fully upgraded knights. I'm genuinely impressed with this strategy. This is so nice. Now, I don't think this would work against a civ like China, right? Because China, you want to be more aggressive, but against a civ like the Mongols, this is perfect. This is such a smart move. Look at the knight numbers. He's up to 15 knights, dude. How do you deal with this? They're just so cheap. He's got so many knights on the field. Pumping out non-stop knights. He's got 4 stables, only knights. He doesn't even need men-at-arms. His knights are good enough against spearmen. And remember that he's playing against feudal age spearmen. They're hardened. Doesn't have +1, but it wouldn't even matter because he's got the royal bloodline upgrade. You're basically fighting against imperial royal knights right now with feudal spearmen. GUA needs to be 100% spearman, and even if he is, he's still not going to win. That's the best part. GUA could be 100% spearman right now, and he still won't win this. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. He's got to be careful, though. You can see that his forces might get cut off. Really needs to make sure that he's consolidating. And the problem that he's going to have is that Astral's just going to be able to come through, find villages. And GUA's gone for the second town center. Sure, he's got an economic boost coming in, but there's not enough space in here for all these villages. He can't hold all these villas. And he's going to be able to eat alive all of the spearmen. And Astral now moving back towards his enemy's base. GUA also going to be doing the same thing, but good luck ever stopping that keep. The keep stands so strong on that hill and just eats alive all the spearmen. What does GUA do here, dude? What does GUA do here? He runs for his life, and look at the vills running for their life. They got the Yam network bonus, but they got no textiles. He doesn't even have textiles in queue at this point. GUA just trying to make more vills. Look at the villager count. It's going, or the worker kills. It's going crazy. So many knights chasing after single villagers. At the same time, a little bit of a push on that front side. GUA pulling back all of his forces here. But even these hardened spearmen, it's not going to even matter. GUA, he might be in trouble. And now we see the Khan throwing off that extra speed, falling back away from the fight. Doesn't want to take it, at least not at the moment. Actually catches out a couple of the knights. This could be terrible for Astral, but he manages to get away. Still falling away from those units. Spearmen chasing with their spears out. Come back here. But unfortunately, not going to have the movement speed to do it. Astral just able to kite through. Warwick going to be joining in on the action. Looking to get himself off a little bit of booty. Unfortunately, the only booty they're going to be getting is a big shiv to the face, or a big lance to the face, maybe. More attacks down on that south side. It's only a horseman. And GUA looking to try and clinch this one out. Let's see how well the spearmen do. I can tell you right now, the answer's not going to be very happy for any Mongol fans in the house. And GUA getting completely cleaned up. Look at those spearmen numbers. He's dropped down to 6 spearmen. And of those, it's just going to be a good game. Astral Abuser taking this game, abusing French 1 base. I got to say, I'm impressed with French 1 base. Fellas, if you're impressed with French 1 base, make sure you check out GUA's stream. I'll leave a link in the description. Maybe you'll catch a couple more games where he plays against it. Maybe he works it out himself. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.